Please. Hey, what's up, Boss Babes? I'm here with Megan and Jillian, and we are bringing you another great episode of Boss Please.
Hey.
How you ladies doing?
Good.
Great.
So how was your week?
It was kind of a crazy week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
How were you a boss this week?
So, guys, I'm okay, but I was in my very first car accident.
Oh, no.
I'm okay. It literally was not my fault. Like, if I'm going to get in a car accident, like, it better not be my fault. I was just sitting there, fender bender. Someone just hit me from behind. Ching. Malynda's face right now. Malynda's face. I had to. It's really hard to not laugh when you say I was hit from behind. But anyways, but I handled it like an adult. I was just like, okay, like this is adulting at its finest. I had to like call the insurance company, and it's a very stressful situation.
Totally.
It
absolutely is.
But I did it, and it's getting done, and it's all taken care of. So I was like, okay, that's how I was a boss.
Cool. Jillian, what about you?
Well, we are pretty much right before Thanksgiving right now. I am a boss because I did my shopping already. My Christmas shopping is done.
Wait.
I didn't even wait till Black Friday. I literally have been cruising the sales that have been going on in October and November. I know.
Like, that's like boss.
I'm like Christmas Eve shopper.
Oh my God.
Literally,
I'm
the
going
worst.
to have the stuff wrapped under the tree, taken care of, especially because my parents are coming for the holidays this year.
I'm like, let me give you a hug because I'm so fucking broke. And here, accept this card from me. That's the kind of shopper I am.
Handmade gifts.
Hey, do you want an
Handmade
IOU?
Gifts. I love that.
Handmade
Oh my
gifts,
gosh.
exactly. That's Megan at its finest.
Oh my
it is the
gosh.
thought that counts, Meg. It's the
I try
thought that
it, but
counts.
that's amazing. That's really, really awesome.
It's actually, it's a relief. I've done it this way for the past couple of years, and while everyone else scrambles, I kind of just laugh in the corner. And I bake. That's what I do. I spend my time not
fun.
shopping, but I bake for people.
That's
So
a great
amazing.
baker.
I'll spend my December doing that. Malynda, how are you a boss this week?
I boss every day. I'm a hustler, but I was a good dog mom.
Oh.
My little puppy had an ear infection. I know. And I didn't wait. I noticed it immediately that she was scratching. I got her into the vet, got taken care of. But oh my God, I like cry. You know, you haven't met Cora, but Megan spent a lot of time with her, and any pain that she has, I feel.
She's your child.
Oh my God, she's my baby.
Oh, what was
and
she doing? Was she
she
yelping?
was just scratching and just like, well, the thing is she's so tolerant and so like just quiet, and like I didn't really know if anything. I thought she was just scratching normally, but then I was like, no, something's wrong. I looked in her ear, it was like bloody and it looked like coffee grounds. It's so gross. So she had like, it was like a yeast infection in her ear. It was only one ear, and it's the ear that's floppy because she has one that stands up and one that's floppy. She looks crazy. But yeah, so we got her on antibiotics and stuff, but it breaks my heart.
Is
and,
she okay now?
She's totally fine, but like she was just like, because I have to put this wash in her ear, and every time I do it, she just looks at me like, why do you keep doing this to me?
But she must know that she feels better.
Yes, I hope she knows, because I'm not trying to
Cora.
hurt her. I
Love
know.
her.
So
Oh my God, poor baby.
I saw the pain, and I took her in immediately. That's what scares me about having a kid, though. Like if they don't speak up. If you don't know something's wrong, because dogs can't tell you when something's wrong.
That's
you really
so
have to
true.
be monitoring
But I think
them.
that would be the difference. Other than when they're a baby, they'll be crying. But I think they can say like, this doesn't feel good.
That's why I don't want an infant. I just want it to like pop out and be two.
just be like, all of a sudden be like,
You just want a 3-year-old? Is that what
I
you
do.
want?
I want somebody I can reason with, and like for you to tell me what you want.
Oh my gosh.
I know I'm the
This
worst.
future child is going to be hysterical. I can imagine it now.
She's gonna be a mess.
You hear that?
It's already, yeah.
Yeah, I already have. I mean, I want both, but I think I'm gonna have a girl first because I don't really want a girl, and that's just how God works.
Okay.
Well, I think that Cora is good training.
She's very good training. Absolutely.
So we have a lot to be thankful for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured it'd be good for us to reflect a little bit since it is the day before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So do we have specific things that we are thankful for that we can share with everybody?
I mean, I think my biggest thing that I'm so thankful for is, we've talked about this before, coming out to LA to pursue your dreams is hard. And it's especially hard when you don't have a solid support system.
Right.
And I have been very fortunate to have a very solid support system, not with just my mom and dad, but also my grandparents and my sister. And it's just endless support of just, Megan, I know it's hard, but keep going, keep going, keep going. And not a lot of people have that, and that's something I wake up every day grateful for.
That's wonderful. What about you?
Well, the past year has been challenging health-wise for me. So I'm blessed and thankful to be healthy right now, and also have the other people that are in my life healthy. Medical stuff is so weird, and it can be so draining on people, and I just love to see people happy and doing what they love to do, and not in bed and sick and not feeling well. And you know, just health is so important. So I'm thankful that I have another day here. And that's it.
And how have you been doing?
Good. Yeah, everything is all set under control. It was like kind of a crazy year of trying to figure out. I developed all these new allergies.
Right.
So kind of like going out to a restaurant to eat and not knowing if I'm gonna go into like anaphylactic shock or if I'm gonna have hives all over my body.
And it's awful too, because like Jill and I are both gluten-free, but you're also allergic to nuts and cinnamon, and half the time I know. And half the time
it's like crazy. I don't need to bore people with my laundry list, but I will say that when I go to a restaurant now, I have to have a note in my phone of what I'm allergic to.
Oh my God.
Because it's just so many things. But I always say, like, you know, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I take care of myself now. I know what I can and can't have. And, I don't want to make myself feel bad.
She's so good about it, though. I'll be like, Jill, there is the best gluten-free muffin here at this place. And I'll be like, but I'm like, and it totally is filled with nuts and cinnamon. And I'll totally forget that she's allergic to both. And she won't say anything. She'll just smile and give me this look. And then I'll be like, oh, wait, don't eat that muffin.
She'll bring muffins over and be like, oh, you can't have that.
Exactly. I did that before. I'm like, it's gluten-free carrot cake. Megan, the cinnamon. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Cinnamon.
Yeah.
That's in everything.
Yeah. I've never had a chai latte, unfortunately. I can't be my most basic self. I can't have a pumpkin spice latte.
If y'all could see my face right now.
I know.
I'm like
I've
hurting.
never seen Melinda's eyes so wide.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's cool. I find other things to indulge in. If you know me, I'm not a skinny rail. I definitely eat. Melinda, what about you?
This sounds so weird to say, but I'm just grateful that I don't really want for anything. Like, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm happy in my marriage. I have a dog. My parents live down the street, like 15 minutes. Like, my life is just really good, and I work really hard to be able to have the things that I have. So I'm just grateful that God does bless me with the opportunity to live my dreams out here.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
So, guys, we are just so... we're such bosses. I love it.
And I'm thankful for this podcast.
Yes.
Duh.
And you listeners out there.
I know. We've been getting such amazing feedback from you, and we have so much more to give. And we're so happy that you're listening and interacting with us, and we love getting to know you. And it's been amazing. But enough about us.
Yeah.
We have a super talented lady in the house today.
Unbelievably talented.
Miss Lynette Williams, who, if you don't know her, she's an amazing musician, keyboardist. Yeah. I can't wait
for like everybody.
So great. I wish we had a keyboard here so she could
You wouldn't know what to do.
Oh my gosh, I'm so crazy.
I think I would die.
All right, we'll be back soon.
Yeah. All right.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We are so excited to have Lynette Williams in studio with us. She is a very prestigious keyboardist, and I feel like that's not even explaining how amazing you are. Prestigious is just like such an underwhelming word. She attended Berklee School of Music, and in 2006 she toured with will.i.am, and in 2009 she was on P. Diddy's MTV show Making His Band. She was one of 3 of the final keyboardists to be selected in his band, and you're currently touring with Layla Hathaway and performing with Donald Glover, which was just announced as going to be playing Simba in The Lion King.
Yes,
amazing. So anyways, I could go on and on, but we want to hear from you. So welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome. So excited to have you here.
Thank you.
I was reading in your bio. It was so cute. Like your first experience, I guess, with the piano was when you were super little, and a family member heard you playing Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah.
Did that you just heard someone play it, and then it just came naturally to you?
It was crazy. My older sister, her best friend, was living with us at the time, and she was a piano player. And I kind of distinctly remember it, but the way my parents put it, like I just heard her play it one time, and they saw me just kind of looking at her, observing, and I just played it one time, and my dad was like, "Okay, we got to put her in lessons. Like, that's it.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
And that was the beginning. That was, yeah.
And would you say right away you were like, this is a passion?
Yeah, instantly. Like, I remember after my first piano lesson, like, I knew it was something I wanted to do. Like,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So talk about the decision for you to pursue music full time, because I know, at least in my mind, I am like all about stability, even though my job is kind of unstable. And like music is sometimes unstable.
Oh, yeah.
So what went into that decision that like, I'm going to go to school for this and then I'm going to pursue it?
You know, it's crazy. I remember being in high school and I knew I was going to go to school to study it, but being from the Bay Area and being sheltered, you know, I always thought I was going to go to the conservatory in San Francisco, even though classical wasn't what I wanted to focus on. And then my guidance counselor, my junior year in high school, told me about the school in Boston, Berklee College of Music, and I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to school all the way on the other side, you know, on the East Coast. You know, I didn't really know much about Boston except for like, you know, Fenway Park and so,
and the weather.
And the weather.
Yeah, girl, I know.
I wasn't used to that. And let me tell you, I was in for a rude awakening.
Yes.
But, you know, they had a summer program for high schoolers trying to recruit them. And I remember it was Berkeley in LA. And that was the beginning of the end. I was like, it's worth it. I was eager. I couldn't wait to get on the plane. And, you know, it was tough. My first year was tough, but I knew from that point I wanted to do full time. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do musically. I knew I just wanted to play.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Jill and I went to school in Boston as well. So we can
we went to Emerson right down the road.
Yeah.
So they know all about that area.
We know.
Oh my God.
The cold and walking to
cold,
class.
Yeah. But I had made so many friends, and I had a side hustle. I used to play for gospel choirs at different colleges. So I played for Northeastern's, Harvard's, BU, and Tufts. So it was really cool. And then MIT. So I was making like a side hustle.
That's awesome.
Of course you have a side hustle. That's why we're having you on this
That's your
podcast.
boss. That's why you're boss.
Exactly.
Because people need to know that while you're pursuing your dreams, other things need to be happening as well.
Right.
There can't just be one thing.
No, definitely.
Oh, man.
So talk a little bit about how you've gotten the gigs that you've received, you know, working with a lot of big name celebrities and going on tours. What was the first gig that you got that kind of...
I think the first big break I got was actually with will.i.am. And it was crazy. It was just, I remember I had briefly moved to LA in 2005, 6, but it didn't work out. I don't think I was ready. I was too scared to go to the gyms and be seen. So I just remember I decided to go back to the Bay Area for a little while. And my best friend, we did an impromptu trip to Vegas. And I got this text from, they call him Pick Funk. I don't know if you know him. He's big. He actually currently is on tour with Janet Jackson. He plays bass.
Oh, wow.
But he's also Layla Hathaway's music director.
Oh, okay.
So I've known him growing up. My dad's a preacher, and he used to sometimes play at our church. So just out of the blue, he calls me, and he's like, hey, where are you right now? And I'm like, I'm in Vegas. And he was like, well, could you get to this audition in L.A.? We're auditioning for an all-girl band, will.i.am, for the Black Eyed Peas. And if you can play like I Know You Can... Like, it's your gig.
Right.
I got on the plane that night. I remember I flew, changed my ticket, flew out into center staging. It was all these girls lined up, you know, different instruments. And I was nervous because I had never experienced, you know, on a wider scale. I didn't, you know, side note, I did audition for Beyonce, but the last minute I chickened out. I went all the way. Well, I went to audition.
Too. I mean, it's Beyonce.
I went to audition, but I never auditioned. I actually left the line.
Oh my
gosh,
gosh, you just got so
that
scared.
was the year
wow.
prior.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm gonna redeem myself.
Yes.
Good
for you.
And I remember I went in there. He'd just given me the music, so on the plane, which is like not even an hour, I listened to it. Got to the airport. Got to Burbank. And I just remember I played it, and he was like, it's yours. And will.i.am was there, and my heart was beating fast. And he came over to me, and one of the first things he said, first of all, he swears up and down we have like the same mom or dad. He's like, someone's lying. We're related. So he immediately fell in love with me because he thought we were kin. And then secondly, you know, he loved my playing, and that was the first major gig I
That's
had.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Good for you.
What was it like? Like, you were like, I'm about to go in for Beyonce, and then you were like, I can't go in for Beyonce. But you're so incredible.
Oh, thank you. Like,
But
I guess,
really, I'm
you know,
surprised that you
know,
get so
sometimes
scared.
we can
No, but
be
I
at
get
work
it.
Oh, no,
and
yeah,
No, but
that's true.
honestly, I
That's
find
true.
something very comforting in that story, because even though, like, you know, a part of me is like thinking like, oh girl, like you were so good, you didn't have to turn away, but you know, it's good for our listeners out here to listen to that, like knowing how incredible you are, that even like things are scary. Like things are really scary.
And honestly, I don't think at the time I was ready. You know, sometimes you follow your
boss
instinct
to
and
know
your
that.
gut. Yeah, and I was like, you know, I didn't really feel as, I guess I wasn't as passionate, or not passionate. I'm passionate all the time, but wasn't really that excited. I didn't feel like I was prepared enough because everything was kind of rushed and it was last minute. Okay, I'm gonna just go to LA and audition for Beyonce's band. But then I just wasn't ready. But when I went to audition for Will, for some reason, I was like, there was a fire in me. I was like, okay, let's do this. Like, you know, even if I don't get it, the experience.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
No,
Right.
that's
Absolutely.
so relatable on so many levels. Because how many moments have we sort of like hit a wall?
Oh,
We're
for
like,
sure.
oh my God, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why am I doing this? I'm not good enough.
Right.
No, that's so awesome. I want to talk to you about tour.
Okay.
How do you stay ready, set, go, on task when you're traveling all over the place? Because I feel like that'd be a huge challenge for me.
Like, is in terms of like.
In terms of like, you know, just being on your schedule, getting your work done.
Right,
And just
right.
being
You
in
know,
the headspace.
yeah.
Because touring takes a lot out of
Let
you.
me tell you, 100%. It is not, you know, for a lot of people looking on the outside in, it looks like fun. They think, oh, you're partying every night, you're playing every
They think
day.
it's glamorous.
Yeah, they think it's glamorous. For me, I just, you know, the funnest times for me when I'm on the road is when I'm on the stage.
Of course.
Because it can get lonely. Sometimes you're on a bus night after night. Some nights you don't even have hotel rooms. You have to like use the showers at the venue, which aren't always very nice. One time I remember I was on tour and I had on sandals and socks because I was so paranoid, like, you know, just trying to shower, just trying to get a quick shower at the venue.
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
and then you're in, you know, close quarters with everyone for like months at a time. And sometimes, you know, you get on each other's nerves.
Yeah, of
you love
course.
each other. And most tours that I've been on, with the exception of the will.i.am tour, I've been the only female.
Yeah.
So that can be hard, especially when it's that time of the month and they don't understand why your mood is changing. You just want to be by yourself.
Of course.
So, you know, there does have to be a balance. I try and keep that balance by, you know, I'm a very spiritual person. So I try to, like, you know, stay, I'll pray or I'll call home. And even I'll call my mom because no matter what age you are, you know.
You always need your mom.
Yeah,
Yes.
always need your mom. And sometimes I've had moments where I just broke down crying like I want to go home.
Yeah.
But, you know, even though I'm grateful for the opportunities and being able to make the money to take care of bills and stuff like that, doing what I love, but it's not easy. It is not.
No.
It's
I want to kind of piggyback on what you say, since you are usually the only female on the tours. How has that helped you, and also how has that hindered you in this business?
It's definitely given me tougher skin. Like, for example, touring with Donald Glover, that's all guys. We just got a female percussionist. But for the last 3 years prior to her joining the band, it was just me. And Donald was so compassionate because he knew. He was like, just let me know if you're okay, if you ever feel uncomfortable. But they all were like my brothers and they looked out for me. But I had to learn how to really tolerate some of the things they may do. That as a female, it irritates me. You know,
That's understandable.
You know, but I've been fortunate that at the same time they're very protective of me.
Yeah.
So it had its perks. You know, being a female. You know, I was always the first in line for catering, or you know, they always made sure I always got the best bunk on the bus.
Yeah.
You know, they took care of me. So
That's sweet.
that.
that was
That's
the
very
upside,
sweet.
you know.
That's
But
great.
there, you know, there were moments where I was like, could there be just one female
Yeah.
I could like just, you know, gel with, who could really understand me, because I have moments, you know. But I would say the good outweighed the bad.
That's good.
Being the only
wonderful.
girl.
Do you have a favorite tour?
Definitely Donald Glover.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yes. Because it, you know, that was the first tour. Like, this sounds like will.i.am, we didn't really tour a lot. We were on retainer for 2 years, but we did like shows. We did like spot dates. We just needed to be available.
Yeah.
But with Donald Glover, I remember when I got that call, I didn't even have to audition. Well, I didn't know I was auditioning. I should have known where I saw one of the guys with the laptop in his hand and he was holding it in the air, pretending he was typing on it. But really, Donald Glover was on the other end of that video watching me.
Oh, that's amazing.
rehearsal.
But are you kind of low key glad you didn't know?
I'm so glad I didn't know, because I probably would have been more nervous.
Of course.
And I just remember the next day I was on tour with him. That was in 2013.
That's
it's crazy.
unbelievable.
And I've been touring with him ever since. Like,
yeah.
he was like, he's very loyal. He's like, we're a family. So I think that's why it's my favorite, because it feels like a family. And when we do come together, you know, it's like, oh my God. And sometimes we'll hang out. Everyone in the band lives in LA. So we'll hang out sometimes for each other's birthdays. But that's definitely top one.
That's amazing.
Number one.
Really, really
And you
good.
know you're probably going to get to see the live action of Lion King before any of
Oh
us
my
because
God,
of how tight you
I
are
hope
with
so.
Donald.
I would love to. I really hope
Yeah,
so.
what do you think
You
he's
have to
going to
let
be
us know.
like? Because
Oh my
earlier this
God.
month, the official cast announcement was released, and we found out that Beyonce was going to be Nala. He's going to be Simba. Like, I'm looking forward to their duet.
Right.
How do you think he's going to be?
Oh my God, I think he's going to be incredible. I feel like with him, and I promise you, I'm not just saying this, I look at him sometimes and I'm like, are you human? I feel like, is there anything you can't do?
Right.
Like, from his
right.
acting to songwriting, he's an awesome musician. A lot of the songs on his albums, he's playing himself.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And he's able to communicate what he wants musically when we're learning a song or when we're in the studio with him. And I asked him one time, I was like, do you ever sleep? Because they're, even on the road, we all had separate, they had a band tour bus, his tour bus, and then you had the crew bus. And sometimes I would see him and I'm like, do you ever sleep? Because he's always will be working on something.
It's a hustle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love
And
that mindset.
it motivates me.
Yeah.
And I think that's why also that's one of my favorite tours, is because he's genuine and he's like, people flip out for who he is, but he's just like, he makes you just relax and like, you know what, you're human like me, and you motivate and inspire me to want to soar and be,
That's incredible.
It's so
amazing.
great to see the joy on your face when you're talking about working with him, and I see how much you post about him on Facebook too, because I know a lot of people that are
I
on tours
adore
with other
him.
people,
That is my
and they
brother.
don't talk about them because they're not happy on those tours. So it's really great to see that you're so happy working with him, and he's a good person.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that.
I feel very fortunate to be a part of that whole thing. Like, even last year we went to Australia, and even though fortunately we had a few shows this year, because he's never gonna not do music.
Of course.
He loves it, even if it's just a show here. But originally we thought we weren't going to be doing any shows at all. So I remember in December our last show was a New Year's Day earlier this year, and I cried like a baby. Because I was just like, I love these guys. I finally, when you play with a band for a certain amount of time, you build not only a rapport, but you have this, connection musically that it takes sometimes a while to get. And as a band, I feel like we sound like one.
Yeah.
And it took so long to get to that point, and it's hard to. He doesn't like to have subs, so we all try to make it a point to make sure we can be at these dates that we're given with him.
Sure.
That's really great.
Yeah.
What would you say? I mean, you're living the dream, girl. But what would you say your ultimate goal? Do you have an ultimate goal? What is that?
It's funny that you say that. So I don't know if you saw, I posted on Facebook a few days ago about film scoring.
Yeah, I did. I did see
film
that.
scoring has always been a
Because you're reading
passion.
that book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I've done stage plays. That was one of the first times I've toured to. A director by the name of David E. Talbert actually gave me a chance to do underscore for his live stage play that went on tour. And I remember I was nervous, and he gave me many different things to listen to. And I remember being at Berkeley, I always knew I wanted to be like a little John Williams or,
Yeah, of course.
But, I kind of put that passion under me, when I started touring with different artists. But I was on the plane flying back, and they had this documentary called Underscore, or Film Scoring documentary. And they were talking about all these big names like John Williams, and you had I can't think of his name. I think it's he does all the Tim Burton every Tim Burton movie you can think
Hans,
of,
is it?
like Beetlejuice.
Is it Hans Zimmer?
No, Hans Zimmer did all the he did one of the Tim Burtons,
Okay.
but Hans Zimmer was definitely there, and I was just flipping out when you were listening to all this music, and they showed John Williams how he came up with E.T., and they show him talking to Steven Spielberg, and do 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 do, and I just got goosebumps literally, and I was like, this is such a passion, and seeing all these names and people that I look up to and seeing, you know, them talk about where they started from and how it's not always easy.
Yeah.
Like even when I was just doing music for the stage play, Hans Zimmer actually said something that I felt the same way. He was like, you know, sometimes a director can't always relate to you what they want musically, but they'll tell you what they don't want, and you have to kind of guess or figure it out for them. It's almost like you're being a psychologist or a psychic, almost like, you know, because they're, from one moment they like it, and then they're like, I don't like it. And so that's how I felt when I was doing these plays. But I loved it so much that I didn't mind being in rehearsals for 18 hours a day, creating music. And then now to see my name on the credits, and it was such a small screen because it was, you know, it was straight to DVD, but I cried and I was like, I can't even imagine.
That is beautiful. That's amazing.
really
And it turns out that Donald Glover, our music director, Ludwig, is actually a huge film scorer.
That's so great.
He just scored the new Rocky movie. And he also is doing Black Panther that comes out next year.
Wow.
Like, so he's been telling me, come on, let me mentor you. And I've been scared, but I think I'm ready.
You
like,
got this.
Don't run away.
Watching
You
you
gotta
talk
do it,
about it, I'm like,
Right.
I'm like,
You're
I'm
like,
going to see
go
your
get-
name on the screen.
I wanted so bad.
Yes.
And it was
You're going to
so
get it,
You're-
girl.
Absolutely.
And it was empowering. They had women, they interviewed some women film scores of movies that I didn't even know were scored by women. And I'm like, oh my God, like,
That's
this
gonna be
is
you, for sure.
inspiring. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, I can't wait to see
I'm
your
so
first film.
excited. I'm so excited for
Yeah, I
you.
know.
I love you so
Inspired.
much.
Oh, I love you too.
I always like, I don't know, like joy is so contagious.
It is. I'm so happy
I'm just like
right now.
so yeah.
And I feel like no
It's
matter
exotic.
what happened to us today,
Yeah.
we're gonna leave this room being like, yes.
Yeah.
No, I do. I actually
Thank
needed your
you.
energy.
Yeah.
I needed it.
And I needed you guys to for real, so thank
Well,
you.
one thing that we had talked about earlier in the show is we're at the day before Thanksgiving right now, and we want to know what you're thankful for this year. What were you thankful for?
First of all, I'm just thankful for health. For life and health.
Yeah.
I feel
Because
that.
if you don't have your health, what do you have?
Amen.
You have
Yeah.
all the money in the world, but if you can't, you know. So that I'm thankful for that. And I'm grateful for, like you said, you know, in this industry, in this career that I've chosen, stability isn't always there. But I'm grateful that it's always just managed to work out for me.
Yes.
You know, even when I'm stressed out about the next month, I'm looking at my calendar like, oh God, what am I going to do? But it always just kind of, the cards always line up. So I'm just grateful for that. And I'm grateful for, you know, just family who are very supportive. Because I have a lot of peers who don't even talk to family members anymore because they think that what they're doing is not a real career.
Yep.
And, you know, so I'm just grateful for that. Yeah.
I love that. It's been an absolute
Yes.
pleasure
Oh, thank
having
you.
you
It's
on
been
the
a
show.
pleasure. Thank you.
Where can everyone go to find you? We'll put it on our socials as well.
Oh, sweet. You can find me on all social media avenues, Hammondgal. On Facebook, it's Lynette Hammondgal Williams.
Okay.
But Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Hammondgal. My YouTube channel, Hammondgal.
Love it.
Yeah, and do us all a favor, and if you're listening right now,
Yes.
go to YouTube and listen to her
Listen
and
to
watch
her.
her when she plays, because I will tell you, it will put a big damn smile on your face.
It will.
Thank you.
Love it. You gotta watch her Instagram. She just released the sex patches.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my favorite.
I was
Gotta watch the
thinking
sex patches.
Sex patch.
I am very curious
Yes,
right
go
now.
watch it.
I'm about to go
Go
do that
watch
right
it.
now.
You're gonna love
All right,
it.
everyone, will make sure you tune in next week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next week.
Cool. I was like, do we have a show next week? We have a
Yeah,
show
yeah,
next
yeah.
week. All right, and enjoy your turkey, and we'll see you later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Boss Please Pod. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. Navigate the path to your best self with us, because bossing together is always better.